you know, I've been talking to some people, and issue becomes how schools are, how their averages and the proficiencies come out. And of course, in some schools, we have no special ed children in the classrooms, i.e. the magnet schools. What is it? Is it against the law for us to establish perhaps an academy on special education or something on that order, so that our scores that already are not that good would not be further cut down by special ed test scores involved?
It's the least restrictive environment.
Yeah, it's the least restrictive environment.
It doesn't matter about that. You can make it the least restrictive environment now. So I mean, it doesn't. I'm trying to see if you can move them out.
Yeah.
So they won't have to be included in the testing.
Unless
because if you don't do that, it's almost not fair for Lamp and them not to have special ed folk to bring them down.
Right. Well, I mean, Stephen Hawking would be a special ed student.
Who?
You know. Stephen Hawking, the astrophysicist. You know, you know, people can have challenges.
I don't have a problem for any of that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying those who have special needs are truly not folk like him.
Right.
Because if they were like him, then they'd be over at the magnet at Lamp.
Right.
I'm talking about those who don't have those kinds of skills, abilities, and competencies.
Well, that should be in their IEP. You know, if they are so challenged, then they might have an alternative setting. But other than that, then you know, it's generally within the same classroom.
That's why they say the least restrictive.
We have to deal with a lot of the federal laws.
I understand that they're federal things, but it is unfair to have children who don't have the capability of learning at the rate that the other children learn in the classroom, and the class be tested and all the test scores included. My position is just this: if Lamp, Baldwin, Bear, and all the rest of them don't have that kind of condition in their classes, they're not being tested like the other kids, I mean like the other classes. And I kind of think that I'd like to see what that looks like. In addition to seeing the fact, of course, that we have our teacher-pupil ratio that is somewhere in the average between Lamp and our special ed kids in their classes.
Are you saying, this is what I think, I think this is what you're saying too, we don't want schools to be punished, and the students there, you know, punished with ratings and all that on something they can't.
That's correct.
And that's probably something nationally that should be addressed as an issue of fairness.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess it goes back to, are we trying to educate children specifically, or are we trying to look at data?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think the focus should be on educating children specifically. And so many of the laws that were changed were to try to bring children who may be brilliant but have some limitations physically, for example, into the classroom. And that's where you have things like mainstreaming and all of the terms that have been used all over.
But we have not mainstreamed anybody to Lamp.
No, I understand what
You
you're saying,
understand?
and I understand completely, and that's part of the problem with all of the focus more on the data and things that are outside the control, really, of the school setting, in terms of you cannot monitor how many children will move into your community with special needs. But our focus needs to be on educating the child.
We have to test kids to go to Lamp and all the other magnets. I'm saying you can test to find out deficiencies that will cause them to be special and need special education. And if you can do it for Lamp, you can do it for the regular population, and that's how you ought to do it. Because until I saw Lamp the other day, and I was very proud because, you know, it's in District 5.
Oh, it is. I'm jealous.
So I'm real proud of that. But the point is, they were talking about their average on the ACT 31. And I'm saying to you, if they had some special ed kids in there, that average would have been 31.
Well, the actual, in Alabama, they would actually, so many of them would qualify as special ed because gifted children are classified as special
Well,
education.
and
Well, you know, and that's
So
all
in
too, but
Alabama.
you know, we're talking about that other
I
side.
understand what you're talking about.
But then
federal.
Tillsville, some of those with the IEP, their scores are not counted in because, you know, of the level.
AAA.
So we just
Right.
need to just look at it.
Yeah, we need to look at that. And it's just that I was looking at it the other night and it just crossed me, man, how can we do this?
Maybe
Yeah.
sometime we could have a discussion with some experts about special ed, and maybe something needs to be discussed nationally about changes, because it's got to be so punitive.
It really is.
We need to be more understanding and listening.
We are due a discussion about special education, especially our processing of how we get our students their IEPs, and, you know, we have a lot of just process issues, and I think if you could write down that we need to have a discussion about it. Our processing times are poor, our students are not getting answers from our administrative judges quick enough. We need to look at this issue holistically, not just from a test score point of view, but whether or not the children are getting what they need and whether or not they're getting it in a timely way.
Yep.
Well, and the funding issues too, the funding
issues,
formulas
you know,
and all
there's-
that sort of thing.
There's all sorts of things, maybe just have a focus at some point when we get some time on special ed.
Sure.
If there's not any more discussion, may I get a motion to?
I move approval of the resolution authorizing the non-renewal of the ACT as
Second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and probably seconded. We've had discussion, all in favor, show of hands. Unanimous.